Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I'm not really sure how I sound right now, but if my voice is hoarse or it sounds a bit different, it's because I went to the Florida Panthers game. Shout out to the greatest show on ice since Disney on Ice, the best team in the NHL. The Florida Panthers, hopefully the Stanley Cup champions this year. But I was at the game, great time. They won like 6-1, just a great night. But listen, doesn't matter how I'm feeling, it doesn't matter how my voice sounds, nothing will stop your boy BT and the untouchable True School Sports Empire from giving the boxing fans the content they want and they deserve. So let's get right into it, man. I wanted to talk about this whole Andy Ruiz Jr. situation because, Andy Ruiz Jr., one of the biggest names in the heavyweight division, he's trying to reestablish himself back in the division. The last time we seen or heard of Andy in that boxing ring was when he fought a very dangerous, formidable, and in shape, well-conditioned Chris Ariella, who actually wound up dropping Andy Ruiz and giving him a much tougher fight than people thought. So now, Andy Ruiz had a chance to fight Philip Hergberg in the IBF title eliminator. He didn't want that smoke. He turned it down. Fast forward from there to just recently, Andy Ruiz wound up signing a contract with Triller to fight none other than Tyrone Spong on July 16th in Mexico City. Now, as far as that fight goes, Tyrone Spong, I am familiar with him because this is a guy that used to come to the Heavyweight Factory back in 2016. Met him on a couple of occasions. Nice guy. But, more of a kickboxer. He's a former kickboxing champion. Was supposed to fight, I believe, Usyk a couple years ago, or it could have been someone else, but I believe it was Usyk that was being lined up to fight him in his first fight at heavyweight. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. Spong wound up testing positive for banned substance, and we haven't heard from him since 2019. So it's really a fight that nobody cared for and that nobody asked for, and just truthfully speaking, Tyrone Spong is about as irrelevant as you can get in the heavyweight division when you're talking about a guy of Andy Ruiz's stature, a guy that's been to the mountaintop, been unified champion, upset Anthony Joshua. His name carries weight in this heavyweight division. So Tyrone Spong isn't the kind of guy you want to fight because that's nothing really. Now, it came out after that because Luis Ortiz was rumored to fight with him on PBC before all of this came out. Andy Ruiz was going on his Instagram talking about, he was asking fans, would you guys like to see this fight next and things like that, kind of hinting at it. And then the Spong contract came out, or that fight came out. But now, in light of that, apparently, now they're going to fight. Apparently, according to Mr. Michael Coppinger, Andy Ruiz is going to fight Luis Ortiz next, rather than Tyrone Spong. And in this ESPN article I have in front of me, shout out to ESPN and all the fine folks over there. Apparently, now that Ruiz has signed both contracts with both Ortiz and Tyrone Spong, apparently he's going to have to honor both of them. And apparently the first one he's going to honor is the Ortiz contract because now ESPN and, not ESPN, PBC and Triller are working amicably to honor both contracts. Now, Triller Fight Club president David Tetriol, a guy that I've met this past December, nice guy, went to Triller, trying to do some big things there. Much luck to him. He said the following, and I quote, "We are working amicably with PBC to make sure Ruiz honors his obligations to both parties. Had we known PBC intended to fight him prior, we would have never chosen this date." So yeah, they're gonna be in collaboration and trying to make both fights happen. But so it looks like Andy Ruiz has pretty much booked himself up for the rest of this year on accident. As far as the fight with Ortiz, now look, to be honest with you guys, I respect both these guys because they're both top flight heavyweights. They're two top contenders in the division, but I've lost some respect for both these guys because both of these guys have in common the fact that they both had the chance to fight Philip Hergberg in the IBF title eliminator, which would have inevitably put them on the Canelo Bivol undercard co-main event. But they wanted to think that they were smarter than they actually were, or their teams wanted to think they were smarter than they actually were, and they ducked the smoke because they didn't think it'd be worth it. But they could have found the Canelo undercard, boost the profile, got people excited about what they got going on in their careers, but they chose a different route. So that's their bed. They can lie on it, but I don't gotta respect them for the decision they make as far as that. But look, as far as this fight goes, I think within the PBC stable, this is probably the best fight that they could have made, for the heavyweights, because Wilder, we don't know what's going on with him, if he's going to be in the box again. And these are two of the better heavyweights they got. So, Ruiz is a guy that's shown in his last fight he can be dropped and he's vulnerable. And on top of that, he's working with Eddie Reynoso, and this will be a second fight with Eddie Reynoso. So we're gonna see what kind of improvements have been made along the way in camp, into the gym, in the preparation for this fight. As far as Ortiz, I was at the last Luis Ortiz fight when he took on a very game and dangerous, formidable Charles Martin, who actually wound up dropping him and took Luis Ortiz to some deep, dark, uncomfortable places. And the reality is this: Luis Ortiz, he's still a very skilled boxer. He's still one of the most technically proficient fighters out there. But Luis Ortiz, the vulnerabilities are there, the chinks in the armor are there. You just need the right person of the right quality to expose those things. And is Ruiz that guy? I'm not so sure. I think with Ruiz being a little bit inactive, I think with Ruiz being under the guidance of Eddie Reynoso, I'm of the mindset that even though Eddie Reynoso is a world-renowned trainer, I'm of the mindset of you can't train heavyweights to fight like Canelo Alvarez. It's a recipe to get fucked up. At the world-class level, heavyweight boxing is damn near a different sport to every other weight class. You got to know about what makes these heavyweights tick, how to really get into their minds and get them to throw those grown man punches to put these guys to sleep, because there's always that one punch factor in the heavyweight division. And if you're not careful, you could be up 7-8 rounds and that's it for you. So it's a good fight. I'm very intrigued to see how Andy Ruiz deals with the southpaw style of Luis Ortiz, and I'm very intrigued to see how Luis Ortiz can deal with the sort of pressure fighting and counter punching and volume punching of a guy like Andy Ruiz Jr. And I'm even more intrigued to see if Andy Ruiz Jr. is even going to employ that style, because he didn't really fight like that when he fought Chris Arreola. So I think Reynoso has some different ideas for how he's going to make him fight. But that's the news, man. Andy Ruiz out here signing contract to the contract. He was going to fight a fight that nobody thought about or asked for in Tyrone Spong. Tyrone Spong is not a world-class heavyweight. He's not a top 10 or top 15 contender. He's not a top 30 or top 50 contender. He is about as irrelevant of an opponent as Andy Ruiz could have had, because not only is that, he's inactive. He's coming off testing positive PEDs. He's more of a kickboxer. So it really makes no sense. I'm glad that they're making this fight happen first, and then if Andy Ruiz can get through it, or even if he loses, go address that later on. But should be a good fight for the heavyweight division. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz, apparently it's happening in the summer, and he's out here signing multiple contracts. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys hit the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.